Those people are back. We shouldn't waste time here. Hmm? Dummy. This is a dead end. The vault you opened just now. All right. Now we... Get off me first. You'd like to think that. That's not important right now. Come with me. I know you have lots of questions. I'll explain everything later. A private room the bank has for important customers. to come and go as we please. Don't read too much into it. We just have some business history. I can't guarantee that. It's very likely. We need to find a way out. For the bank and their customers, the most important things are security and confidentiality. They are the last people that will want this to become a big incident. You rest here. I'll be back soon. I'll head back there right away. How? Have you gone crazy? You just stay put right there. Are you a moron? Stopping time for an evolver is only briefly effective. Bringing a dummy like you to a halt for 1 second is already pretty good. Wasn't it you who said I need to protect myself first at all times? Give me your hand. Dummy, give me both of them. Cold. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I'm truly curious. Just what were you thinking when you jumped? I'm taking you to get an MRI to see if that fall gave you brain damage. Well, some water definitely got into your brain. Much obliged. She could do with some dry clothes. Just what is it you want to say? There will be no next time. If they want to get to me, the only way is to start with you, just like today. So at all times, I need you to protect yourself from me. Are you done? Then let go of me and sit back over there. People from Black Swan wouldn't know my identity so quickly. And besides, unless they were sure, they wouldn't be so sloppy as to leave clues at the scene. I called you here today because I have something to give you. I participated in the game as a bidder. Now I think there's no need to keep it from you. I never doubted my choices and judgment. These matters are more suited for me to investigate myself. But I overlooked the fact that I'm not alone. You were walking beside me on this path. So I have an obligation to tell you these things. Do you need me to explain more clearly? Of course I know that. Giving you a sense of security and confidence to do your job is among my responsibilities too. So you just focus on putting one foot in front of the other and moving forward.
Long time no see. For being neighbors living this close to each other, it has indeed been a bit long. After all, I thought I'd be able to see you every day. Come in and have a seat. Of course. Anything you make is the best as far as I'm concerned. Although, you probably haven't come looking for me just because of this, right? You're quite welcome. After all, as far as Miracle Finder goes, I should be included in our side, shouldn't I? But now that you mention it, it seems I haven't received an invitation from a certain producer in a long time. I assumed it was because things were going so well at her show that she didn't need me. Now it seems that's not the case. I'm so pleased that you haven't utterly disposed of your show consultant. But you just said, together with you. Is the big shot producer going to make a personal appearance this time? Yes, this is indeed a subject that kills two birds with one stone. Have you decided where to go for the interviews? Excellent. When you've got everything set up, please let me know. Didn't we agree that you don't need to thank me every time? I hope that when you're with me, you can relax a little. At least right now, you can set aside work for a moment and be at ease, okay? What type of lesions? Organ lesions can only be put into remission, never fully cured. What are you thinking about? This may be a question of probability. The difference between evolvers and ordinary people resides only in their ability. Experiments have shown that there is no obvious distinction between the two. In terms of physical constitution, the probability of developing an illness, and the body's response to illness. In other words, lesions that appear in ordinary people have the same possibility of appearing in evolvers. I can't rule out the possibility. But from another perspective, you just now predetermined a causal relationship. Starting with the fact that they have all been in contact with the small syringes, you have determined that they caused the lesions. But it's also possible that the small syringes are not involved, and there are other key factors affecting their health. However, this has little to do with the theme of your show. We can wait patiently for results from the hospital and research institutes. Might I ask, are you going to write up the interview right now? No need to apologize. If there's anything you can't figure out, you can always talk it over with me. I'd first like to hear your take on the question. In a certain sense, you're not wrong. Evolution is a long drawn-out process, and where we are currently is perhaps only the beginning. The powers people are pursuing may not actually have too big of an effect on their lives. But when a wave appears, it's difficult to stop. So what people desperately need right now is a reasonable path to evolution. I should say that's what I most want to be researching. There is a certain amount of predictability in research, but a majority of the time, new phenomena always crop up earlier and faster than a solution to a problem. If possible, I also hope I can win that race with time. Thanks for the words of encouragement. By the way, if you're interested in the topic of evolution, there's a rather fitting place I could recommend. A new museum opened up recently out in the suburbs, and the theme of the first exhibit is evolution. Perhaps it will give you some inspiration. Yes, I fear not enough of my graduate students are interested in these things, and the low turnout could be embarrassing for me. So might I invite you to grace us with your presence? Then it's settled. We can go tomorrow. Watch your step, everyone, and keep a good distance from the displays. We'll start with the permanent exhibition. I see everyone seems to like this building. Indeed, undersea buildings aren't common, and humans are more familiar with the earth and sky. But if we pull our perspective back a little further, we'll realize that humanity is no stranger to the sea. This contrast is also extremely fitting for an evolution-themed exhibition. The exhibits on display are all selected from different stages in biological evolution. These incomplete skeletons of earlier organisms may look a bit dull, but I hope everyone will understand the message being conveyed behind them. Is there something special about that slab of stone? You seem to have been looking at it for quite a while. I realized that one particular student had fallen behind, so I came over to check on her. Ah, a figure eight with thorns. Or perhaps an infinity. Although, it's also possible it represents a looping Mobius strip. It's carved so intricately that it doesn't appear to be a cultural relic. Do you believe that history is a cycle? Not only that, civilization also moves in a cycle. The beginning and ending of a civilization are like this symbol, head and tail connecting to form a closed loop. Maybe it starts in an explosion and also ends in one. Our current civilization will go extinct one day as well. As compared to the evolution and extinction of organisms, the appearance and disappearance of civilization is much faster. I thought you would ask whether it's possible for us to break free. So you believe a miracle will occur that can break the laws of nature? Originally I was skeptical, but now I've decided to believe. As for specifically how to do it, that's a question for us curious people to explore. Don't stand so far back in the next exhibition. I don't want to be neglectful of someone I personally invited. Come over here and take a look. Not necessarily. Having a consistent view on this does not constitute a barrier to taking the class, so there are certainly many viewpoints among them. Often. But I don't dislike these kinds of disputes. Different viewpoints are like focus groups that help one see a complete picture. Aren't people always joking about how obstinate scientific researchers are? Perhaps that's just my obstinacy. By all means. Evolution is constant, but because we're limited in the span of time we can personally experience, it is hard for us to sense its presence. From the perspective of genetic probability, Evol does indeed point the way to humanity's future. But whether Evol in particular expresses itself in a superior way is still dependent on the will of one using it. Survival is intrinsic to evolution. Thus, seeking power is an instinct written into the genes themselves. Even if Evol didn't exist, there would be other things that people would squabble over. Rather than say whether it's necessary, I'd say it's a choice laid down by nature, to survive or to perish. The struggle for survival presses on eternally, and the same is true even among the same species, just like the wars and sacrifices throughout human history. If it can bring about outstanding progress and advance the whole of human civilization, then sacrifice is worthwhile and also necessary. I would. I would tell that person the truth and the consequences, and then respect her choice. In the past 5,000 years, the pace of human evolution has accelerated. Evolution has always been a process of elimination, and it is precisely because of the trials and errors of those who came before that those who come after can walk faster. The future I want is like this school of fish, taking as many people as possible, accepting the gifts of the past, and stepping into a better future. Earlier, when I was chatting with you about students and their varied views, I never expected we'd get a live demonstration. Yes, and they normally raise their questions just like this. I hope the atmosphere just now didn't frighten you. You don't agree with me. But what if I asked you to answer the question you just asked me? What would you say? What is the future that you see in your mind's eye? That would be difficult. I didn't expect you to give that kind of answer, although it does quite suit you. I am honored to have you as an adversary, although I have always longed for the day you agreed to stand with me. I was thinking that I haven't yet fulfilled my responsibilities as show consultant. Then after you've made your notes, let's take another walk along the shore. The scenery here is quite nice, and it's a rare opportunity that we shouldn't pass up. Such as? Yes, I think so too. What is it? Perhaps we've walked too far. Let's head back. We seem to have walked into a place we aren't supposed to be. This game doesn't allow players to escape. We've already been noticed. It seems all we can do is abide by its rules. Although, according to what the voice just said, all we need to do is keep from getting attacked, and we're fine. Sentry box? Never mind. Let's go. Yes. More precisely, I participated in it before. The location of my game and this one seems similar. But based on the weather back then and the types of vegetation, I'd say I was probably in the southern hemisphere. Although compared to back then, I'm a bit luckier this time. Because that time, I woke up in the sea. My luck wasn't good. At the very start, I ran into a riptide that I got caught up in. Don't worry. Aren't I sitting here before you right now? And now that I mention it, I need to thank you. Do you remember that little boy we encountered in the street that time? Right. It was that evil that helped me. So if I hadn't gone to see you that day, I would have had a hard time saving myself. Perhaps it's because you're someone who believes in miracles, that miracles always happen around you. Perhaps the one that person threw away just now. The small syringes here may be different from the ones you're reporting on. The ones in the game have a higher dose, which can indeed boost the user's evol temporarily. But evol is a change at the genetic level. It would be difficult to achieve a stable effect by relying on injections. Even with that special element in here, it's still difficult. Black Swan Core. From your expression, I take it you're surprised I know about it? Did you forget, Miss Knox, that I was once a member of Black Swan? Not to mention, it was from the STF that you stole those 10 cases of small syringes in the first place. Yes, I know it. There has indeed been one case where the subject's EVOL was successfully activated via core fusion, but it was the only one. That experiment 17 years ago was by no means humane, but the test method used in this game is less effective. Which is why I think the person behind this game has not yet obtained the core. But that doesn't rule out another possibility. Tell me, and we'll find out. You should have a little more faith in our chemistry. Let's go look for another place while there's no one around.